Today I'll lead you through a gentle flow for the hips. This is an all levels practice and we're going to do some gently strengthening movements and then some releasing stretches for the hips and the whole pelvic area. Let's get started. For our practice today, some kind of a prop would be helpful. It could be a block, or it could be a bolster, it could be a pillow, something that you could use for a supported bridge in the end, and then maybe for your pigeon pose as well, if you know that you need any props for that. But have that one prop somewhere nearby, and then we are going to start from lying down on the belly. So we'll take a moment, just lying down on the front. You can have your legs in any shape, any place of your choice. You might bring hands under the head. And just notice where, in what kind of a shape could you find some release and ease around the hips already here. Do your legs need to rotate one way or another? Is it better to have legs wider apart, closer together? And then once you have found your shape, give yourself a few just slightly slower, longer breaths in and out. As much as possible, trying to breathe in through the nose and then exhale through the nose or mouth, which one feels more natural to you now. And you can let your breath slide all the way down towards the belly, towards the pelvis. We'll take a couple more breaths here. And then slowly with your next few breaths, or when you feel ready to do so, bring hands on the mat and bring yourself into child's pose. And as you find your child's pose, you can choose to have your legs close together, or you might turn your knees further out to the side, so more of a wide-legged child's pose. You can let yourself find a shape where you feel that you could let your hips find some ease for a few breaths. And continue sending your breaths all the way down towards the belly, towards the pelvis. Take another breath here. And then once you feel ready to start moving more, just slowly bring yourself up onto hands and knees. And from hands and knees, we're going to step the left foot forward. And you could leave your hands on the inside of that left foot as we go into moving gecko. So start to circle the pelvis. It could be a very small movement. You could imagine you're drawing circles in the air with your tail. Just allowing some movement through the hips, through both legs. So let that front leg and foot move. You can change the direction of those circles. Keeping the neck, the shoulders as soft as possible. And then for a few breaths, lean your pelvis forward into that gecko pose, into that lizard pose. You can either stay on the hands, or if it feels good for you, you might go down onto elbows. But it's still very early in the practice, so don't push too far, too soon. Find an edge where you can breathe. And then slowly, with your next couple of breaths, gently push the pelvis back so that you could now bring that left leg behind you. So finding yourself on your hands and on that right knee. And from here, just gently draw in through the core, so finding that support for the spine. And then as you exhale, lift your left leg up into the air behind you. As you inhale, lower the left leg back down. Same again with the exhalation, lifting that left leg up. And inhaling, lowering down, finding engagement through the back side of the leg, through the buttock. One more time, lifting up and inhaling down. Then we're going to exhale, lift the left leg up, hold it in the air. Inhale, bend the left knee, opening the left leg out to the side. And exhale, extend the leg. Still keeping that leg up. Inhale, open the left knee out to the side. And exhale, extend the leg behind you. One more time. Inhale, turn the left knee out to the side. Exhale, extend the leg. And then lower the knee down to bring the left knee down. Now we continue moving that left leg. Now with your own breath, start to circle that left knee so that we're bringing out to the side, behind us, and back down. Couple more circles. We might start to feel this around that right hip, right buttock as well. That's all good. We are strengthening both hips. And then change the direction of those circles. So now we lift the leg up, open to the side, and then bring it down. Breathe along those circles, 2 more circles. And then bring that knee down. And we still stay with that left leg. Now bring left knee forward, going into gate pose. So step left hand a bit further forward. Turn your pelvis, your chest out to the long side of the mat. And if you want, you can bring that right arm behind the back. Or you might lengthen that right arm overhead towards the top of the mat. And just slightly start to open the front side of that right hip. So just very gently, not pushing the hip forward, but having that focus of opening through the front side, breathing in, breathing out. And then exhale, release the pose. Bring both hands onto the mat. Now turn your left foot towards the right side of the mat and then bring your right knee behind the left knee, and we're going to sit onto our pelvis, so turning the feet out to the sides, making space for the pelvis, turning the feet a bit out to the sides, finding ourselves in a shoelace pose. In shoelace, the knees are more or less stacked on top of each other. If that doesn't feel good, you can always opt for the square pose, stacking the shins on top of each other. Or if that doesn't feel quite right, then bring that left foot, left leg in front of the right. Any of these options. And then take a breath in. And as you exhale, start to lean forward. And it might be just a small forward bend. Of course, if you want, you might exhale, round your back further down. And you can play with how much you're tilting the pelvis forward versus how much you're rounding your back. Often, if we tilt the pelvis forward, we might get some more intense sensations around the buttocks, around the hips. And then with your next breath, slowly start to bring yourself back up. And then we're going to release the right leg from under the left and extend the right leg in front of us. And you can opt for a half butterfly, or you might cross that left leg on top of the right for a half shoelace. And then, same as in the previous pose, take a breath in. And as you exhale, you can start to lean forward into your forward bend. Again, finding your edge. And then breathing there. Now we might get a stretch through the whole back side of that right leg into the buttocks. Maybe into the back. Take another breath in and out. You can soften the neck. And then with your next breath in, lift your back, your neck, your head up. Open the chest. Step hands behind the pelvis. And then step both feet onto the mat. Feet in a place where you can press down through the feet, through the legs. We're going to go into a few upward facing tabletops. So I would suggest maybe having the feet just slightly further forward than very close to your buttocks. And from there, as you breathe in, lift your pelvis up, opening through the fronts of the hips. Exhale, lower back down. Same again with the in-breath, kind of swinging yourself up, opening through the front. And exhale, swing yourself down. You might move your feet as well. 2 more times. Inhale, swinging yourself up. Exhale, lowering down. 1 more time with the in-breath, swing yourself up, lifting the pelvis up. And exhale, lowering down. Then cross your shins, and if it feels okay for your knees, lift yourself over the shins onto your hands. If that hurts, bring legs sideways behind you. And then we're going to go up into a downward facing dog. Lifting the hips, the whole pelvis up. And here you can move the feet. You can rock the pelvis from side to side. Reaching the pelvis up and back away from the hands. Knees can be bent, heels can stay off the mat. Take a breath in and out. And then we're going to go back to that gecko, that lizard, but now on the other side. So here we're going to step the right foot forward. You can bring hands on the inside of that right foot. And then we'll start to circle the pelvis. And this side might be different, so find your circle. Let that right foot move. We don't need to ground it down. More looking for movement through the hips, through the pelvis. And you can let that movement resonate through the spine, into the neck, the head. You can change the direction. Go a few times the other way around. And keep breathing. Let your breath support the movements. And then slowly let the movement calm down. And for a few breaths, you can lean the pelvis forward. Again, you can choose to go down onto elbows if that feels better. But find your edge, and this side might be different than the first side. Focus on breathing all the way down towards the hips. And then slowly bring your pelvis higher up and bring that right leg behind you. So you find yourself on hands and that left knee. We'll start to move the right leg and the right hip. So now as you exhale, lift your right leg up into the air. And inhale, lower back down. Exhale again, lift the right leg up, keep your core engaged. Inhaling down. It doesn't have to be a big lift. One more time, just lifting the straight leg. And down. And then we're going to lift up. And now as you inhale, open the right hip. So you turn the right knee out to the side. Exhale, lengthen the leg. And inhale again. Open the right hip, turn the knee out to the side. Exhale, extend the leg. One more round. Inhale, rotate the hip open, turn the knee out to the side. Exhale, lengthen the leg. And then lower the right knee down. And then start to circle that right hip. So keeping the knee bent, but turning the knee out to the side, bring it behind you, back down. And focus on breathing as you go through these circles. One more time this way, and then we'll change the direction. So next time you bring your knee down, start to go the other way. So now the knee goes behind you, out to the side, and then back down. Two last circles. Good, and then bring the right knee down, and now bring your right knee forward, extend the left leg, and step right hand forward. So going for the gate pose on the other side. So now turning the pelvis, turning chest out to the other long side of the mat. Again, you can choose to bring left arm behind the back, or you might lengthen that left arm overhead towards the top of the mat. And then just very gently start to open through the front of that left hip. It doesn't need to be a big movement at all. It could be just the idea, that intention, that focus on opening through the front of that left hip. Take another breath here, in and out. And then exhale, bring that left hand down, turn towards the mat. And now bring your right foot towards the left side of the mat. Bring left knee behind the right knee. And then just turning the feet slightly out to the side so that you can sit onto your pelvis. The feet make space for the pelvis. And again, we've arrived in a shoelace pose. And you can choose to stay in the shoelace, or again, you can opt for the square pose, stacking the shins on top of each other. Or you might have the other version of the square pose where the right leg is in front of the left. Any of these options. Take a breath in. And exhale, start to lean forward. Could be just a small tilt in the pelvis forward. Of course, again, if it feels good to round the back, go further down with your back. You can do that. Soften where you don't need tension. So check the neck, check the shoulders. Could you find some softness? Let that softness move down towards the hips as well. And then with your next breath in, slowly lift yourself up. Open the chest. And then we're going to take that left leg, slide it from under the right, and either half butterfly, so extend the left leg, leave right leg in a butterfly, or could be a half shoelace. And you can make different choices on this side compared to what you did on the first side. When you're ready, take a breath in. And again, as you exhale, start to lean forward. Could be just a small movement. Or again, you could, of course, round the back, but you can play with that tilting of the pelvis, rounding the back. How playing with them might change where you feel the pose. Where do you want to maybe send those sensations? Which areas you want to focus on, target more. Take another breath in and out. And then slowly lift your back up. Release that right leg, and we go back into those swinging upward facing tabletops. So leaving some space between the feet and the pelvis, but so that you can still press your feet onto the mat. Hands behind you. And then as you breathe in, lift your pelvis up, swing the pelvis up. Exhale, lower down. Same again. With the in-breath, lifting up. Use the feet, use the legs. Your glutes pressing down. Exhaling down. 2 more times. Inhaling, opening through the front. Exhaling down. 1 last round. Inhaling up. And exhaling exhaling down. And then again, we're going to cross the shins or bring legs sideways behind you. So you might also bring knees in front of you and then shift the weight forward. So find your way onto all fours and lift into that downward dog. And then you can either stay here, or if you want to move the left hip before we go into pigeon, bend your left knee and then start to circle that left hip, that left knee. Could be a small, could be a big circle. You could change the direction. Just allowing some movement in that hip joint. And then we're going to bring that left leg forward into a pigeon. And now you can lower the pelvis down close to the mat, or if you have some props there, you could bring your props under the pelvis, especially if you feel that your front knee or maybe the back leg needs some more space. And then open your chest, take a breath in. And you can either stay in this upright pigeon or exhale, lower down. You could come down onto your elbows, forearms. You could even bring your chest, your head down if that feels good. And once you are in that pigeon, you might lean your pelvis still to one side or the other. Or you might move your upper body more to the right or the left if that gives you a better pigeon pose. And then notice the breaths. Take a couple more breaths in and out here. And if you are down on the elbows, find your hands back onto the mat. Lift your chest, your back up. Tuck the back foot toes under and then step back into a downward facing dog. If you have props there, you might move them aside for a bit. And then same option here. You can either stay in this downward dog or you might move the right hip. So you can now bend the right knee. Let's start to circle that right hip. So it's a similar movement than what we had when we were on all fours, but now doing it here in downward dog. You can change the direction. And then slowly start to bring your right leg forward into your pigeon on the right side. Again, you might use props under the pelvis if that feels better for you. And take a breath in, maybe staying on the hands. Or if you want, you could slowly lean down onto your elbows, or even bring your chest, your head down. And this side might be different, so again, give yourself some time to adjust the shape if needed. Soften your shoulders, soften your neck. Also release your jaw, checking that We're not biting teeth together. All that tension from higher up can trickle down towards the hips. So let your whole body soften. Take another breath in and out here. And then slowly find your hands on the mat. Lift your chest, your back up. And now if you have any props under the pelvis, just move those props aside so you can lean down onto your right hip. Bring legs in front of you. And then we're going to come lie down on the back. And now bring your props with you. Ready for that supported bridge. If you feel that you need to swing the legs from side to side a few times, you can do that. And then feet pressing down. As you inhale, lift your pelvis off the mat so that you could then bring your prop, whether it's a block, bolster, pillow, under the pelvis for a supported bridge pose. You can keep your legs bent. You might extend your legs if that feels good for you. Just be mindful of your back, your hips. You might also choose to open legs into a butterfly shape. Find a shape that allows you to keep your hips soft. You might bring arms higher up if that feels good. And now let your breaths slide all the way up towards the pelvis. It's our mini inversion. We'll let the in breaths move up the hill towards the pelvis. And then let the out breaths move down the hill. Just gonna slide down towards the shoulders, towards the neck, towards the head. Softening through both hips, the whole pelvis. Give yourself a couple more breaths here, in and out. And after those couple of breaths, or when you feel ready, first find your feet back onto the mat. Then slide your arms down if you had them overhead. And slowly lift your pelvis off your prop so that you can release your back, your pelvis onto the mat. And again, if some windshield wipers feels good, sounds like a good idea, you could swing the legs from side to side, or you could hug the knees in if that feels better. Any movement that would then allow you to find Shavasana pose. So take your time to find your way into your resting pose. And your resting pose could be somewhere else than lying down on the back. You might lie down on the belly like we did in the beginning, or maybe lie down on one side. Let yourself find your shape. And then bring your full awareness back to your breath. Inviting softness to your body with each breath. Let your pelvis become heavy. Let your both hips soften. And allow your breaths to keep sliding all the way down towards the pelvic floor, creating space and releasing tension. Give yourself another 5 to 10 breaths in your resting pose. Let yourself notice how you feel now. Let yourself observe without any judgment. Just noticing how you feel, how the practice feels in your body in this moment. And then when you feel ready, take a slightly slower, longer breath in and out. And start to bring some gentle movement back to your fingers, your toes, your hands, your feet. Move the wrist joints, ankle joints. You could gently stretch the whole body long from hands down to the feet. And then roll down onto one side. It could be the left or the right side. And bring yourself up into a seat, into your own final seat. And that could be any shape, any pose of your choice. Where do you feel you could leave your hips soft? Find an easy seat where you could give yourself a few more breaths to close the practice. And if it's a part of your practice, you could bring your palms together in front of the chest. And as always, at the end of the practice, most importantly, thank yourself for taking this time to move, to breathe, and to look after your hips and your whole body today. And I thank you very much for joining in, for sharing this time and this practice. Namaste. Thank you.